Well, Joe came to Brooklyn back in the '60s, and he moved in with Junior Cook over there. And I had been playing around Brooklyn with Junior Cook before he joined Hard Silvers, and they both sound alike for a long time. You couldn't tell the difference between Joe Henderson and Junior Cook, and they both ended up working with Hard Silvers, and I think Joe stretched out a little more, got a bigger name and did a lot of records with different people, and we had a chance to do a lot of recording on Blue Note together. And Joe, he reminds me a lot of Sonny Rollins. I worked with Sonny Rollins about 1961, about 8 months. And let me tell you, that was a thrill. Booker Little and I both worked with Slide Hampton back in the early '60s. And Slide had a 10-piece group. He had George Coleman in it, and Peter Roca and some other guys. But we played some nice music, man. We worked a few gigs around New York. And Booker Little and I used to practice together quite a bit. I would come all the way from Brooklyn and come uptown, practice with him. And he was a hell of a trumpet player. He was one of those Chicago conservatory cats like Wynton Marsalis, very technical. And he just before he died, he began to slow down and play with some soul, And I was sitting next to him when he got sick down at the Jazz Gallery down in Lower East Side. And I saw him getting sick, and I went out of town and came back in 2 weeks. He was dead. Believe that? Leukemia. And I don't think he knew that he had it. Like this ballad that I wrote, Lament for Booker, you can Slide arrange it because he knew Booker, so he could really put his feeling into the music. Like I used to go to Coltrane's house, and I would go to Ronnie Matthews' house when I wanted to play a ballad or change the changes to a song. And I would go over to Wynton Kelly's house, or either go to Herbie's house or McCoy's house, and I'd go over to different people's houses and practice and get together and trade ideas. Like me and Eric used to practice all day on some Indian music, for instance. And then I would maybe go over and jam with Ornette Coleman. I mean, everybody now is, I think the younger kids, they listen to records a lot, and so it's not too many original young cats out of today. And that's the reason. But it's good that they're carrying on the tradition of the music by playing it, but I think that they should get together more so they can have different styles. That makes you stronger when you can draw from different sources. I always wanted to solo, so it's very difficult for me to sit there and read parts all day. I worked with Quincy Jones' big band, 1961. He took me to Europe first time, and I was in there with Oliver Nelson, Phil Woods, Les Spann, a lot of great guys, Clark Terry and those guys. I had a chance to learn how to read big band music. But man, I used to sit in that trumpet section, I could never hear myself. Benny Bailey and all those guys, strong powerhouse guys. But I learned a lot. And I used to do studio work around New York here. I might do a Greek commercial or something, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I used to do a TV show called Look Up and Live. It was kind of a religious type jazz music. I don't know what you call it, but it sounded like church music to me. Lutheran, some kind of Lutheran music. But it gave me opportunity to learn how to read that kind of music. It's different sources to draw from. The kids of the day, they need to check all that out. They don't have to, but it will make them stronger and help them create their own style. Because it's something to just play an instrument, but to develop a style. No matter when anybody hear you, they say, that's him. Now the young kids, very few that you can say, you know who that is.